Hello guys, it is Geed, and after years, Icon Swaps is finally back. Some of the rewards look crazy, you can kind of use them right until team of the season or endgame. Some of them look a little bit crap, and we'll get into that as well. Whether you're completely new to the game, this is your first ever Icon Swaps, or whether you're like me, you've been around for absolute years, right? And we've done Icon Swaps before many times. Let's talk about three main things, right? Let's talk about how to actually get the tokens, because I think people are overcomplicating it. It's not as hard as people are making out. Let's talk about when we get the rest of the tokens, because of course we've got 10 now, but we're getting another 10 at least coming soon. And then let's talk about what to actually do with the tokens, right? That's the main thing. What should you actually spend your tokens on? Because while some of these rewards are really good, Icon Swaps is the thing that if you choose the wrong thing and you mess it up, it's kind of annoying, right? Because you spend all that time grinding in squad battles and all the objectives, you choose something that's a bit crap, and it's kind of a waste of time, so it's a little bit annoying, right? Yeah, that was the main bit of content we got yesterday. The other main bit of content was, of course, the Future Stars Academy Evo. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see a full in-depth guide breaking down how to not only, don't mess this up, but who's the best players to use, best playstyles, best playstyle pluses, how to get an end game card, basically, while using this Evo. So we can get a video out on that soon as well. Make sure to subscribe if you do want to see that. Leave a like while you're down there. Without further ado, boys, let's jump into it. Okay, let's start with tokens, right? Now, this is the one that people are getting annoyed about, or they're saying it's too hard. I do get it, to be honest. Icon Swaps, if you are new to the game, has never been easy, right? If you've been around for a while and you played Icon Swaps before, it's never been easy. EA have made it an absolute slog, and then they just make the rewards insane, right? Like properly end-game rewards, but you've got to earn them, right? I've seen a lot of guides already I've seen like a lot of videos, but also a lot of shorts, and a lot of it overcomplicates what you need to do. So just break it down as simple as possible, right? It's not going to be easy, but this is the simplest way you can do it. Let's start with the leagues, okay? So you've got Icon Swaps, Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, and Liga. Now, my advice for this is, as you can see, it's short matches, and it's co-op, and it's classic matches. If you can play this co-op, I would do it. It makes it so much more enjoyable. If not, you're doing it solo, absolutely fine. But go to the objectives. I'm going to start with these first. These, in my opinion, are going to be just as much as a slog as the squad battles. If you don't like doing, squad battles versus live events, I think they're going to be just as bad as each other in terms of trying to actually go through and do all the rewards right as quick as possible. But here's exactly what I do, right? Firstly, you've got Premier League, and all of them have a score objective, which is the hardest one, or some of them have an assist objective, which is the hardest one. But you'll see what I mean, right? So the Premier League, for example, assisting 5 with through balls, and then scoring 6 with finesse shots. This one is by far the easiest one, and because of that, I kind of want to leave it last. A lot of people will go and do this first. They'll get one token, and if you do that, you end up being the person that spends it on the first fodder pack because you can't then be bothered to go and do the rest of the tokens. If that's going to be you, fair enough, but you'll see later on, there's so many better rewards like later on in the tiers that we can get. So what I'd recommend is doing that last when it comes to the leagues. Get some of the slog ones out of the way, because if you can do the other ones first, and you've still got Premier League left, you're much more likely to complete a lot more of the tokens, right? So we'll start with La Liga as the first one that's a little bit more difficult. The hard one here, because you've got the assist for 5 with through balls, that's fine. Use a player with incisive plus. Just make sure you use a cam. You don't need to, but just make sure you use a cam. It makes this way easier, right? So get them on incisive plus. This one here, though, score in 6 different games from outside the box. The single best way to do this is get someone with finesse shot plus, okay? Please go and find a La Liga player with finesse shot plus. Whack them up front. It's by far the easiest way on this game to score from outside the box, right? And it'll be a lot easier than you think. If you've got someone with finesse shot plus and you've got precision shooting on it specifically, that gets a lot easier. They would obviously win 6. It depends how good you are, depends on your matchmaking, but win 6 is what it is. Bundesliga, again, win 6, we're not going to talk about that. Depends on your matchmaking, depends like how good you are as a player. But again, you've got assist with 5 through balls, same as La Liga. Just use someone with incisive and use a cam, it's fine. But where this one gets more difficult, and I'd almost recommend doing this one first, is scoring 6 different games with a chip shot. I can see this one being one of the rage-inducing ones, let's say, of the objectives. But I would do this first, and you don't need chip shot plus, by the way. Chip shot white or chip shot plus is kind of crap. Just use a good striker, right? Just use anyone you've got from the Bundesliga that's a good striker. To be honest, the way I'd go about doing this, because you need to do all 3 of these objectives, it doesn't matter about winning and assisting in 5 unless you score with 6 chip shots. So every single game you load into, your first priority objective in this one is only going to score chip shots. You're going to force it. You're going to, it's going to be annoying. It's going to be horrible. Also, you need to try and maybe bait some people. So if you just chip shot it alone, no one's going to bring their keeper out anymore. So maybe on the, a couple of one-on-ones, try and finesse it, and then they'll think you just play it normally. They'll bring the keeper out. You can try and chip. You can chip keepers when they're on the line. It's not, as easy as if they're not on the line. It's not a great objective, this one. I don't like when EA do this. They almost deliberately release objectives that are rage-inducing. But I would start with it. I'd go for chips in every single game. But yeah, importantly, you don't need chip shot. You don't need chip shot plus. Get that done. As soon as you've done the chip shots, assist with through balls and win is easy, but I'd get that one done first because it's definitely a slog. And talking about slogs, scoring 10 separate matches is fine with the Liga ones. Win 6 is fine. This one's assist with crosses. Now, I have found easy ways to do crosses before. The way I do crosses as easy as possible is low driven crosses. All that is on Xbox X or on PlayStation Square, you're going to hold it for the power and then press it again. So it's a double tap, right? You hold X for the power or hold square for the power, then tap it again, and it does a low-driven cross. I mean, how inconsistent headers are and bullshit like that this year. If you do low-driven crosses, it's so much easier to score, right? Now, the one thing I will say when I've tried to do cross objectives in the past is if you cross from inside the box, so if you do that exact same button I've just said, right? You hold X, press it again, or hold square, press it again. You do a low-driven cross, almost like a sweaty inside the box. It doesn't seem to count. It doesn't seem to think that's a cross. A cross seems to need to start from outside the box. So what I try and do is I run just along the line of the edge of the box, like just outside the box. Then I'll do a low-driven cross to my striker by sending them on a run or player lock-in or whatever you want to do, and it should be a lot easier, right? That's not as hard by far as the chip shot. So I do Bundesliga first, I then do Liga and then La Liga, and end on Premier League. And as long as you get the slog out the way, you've got a little bit of motivation to do this. These shouldn't be too bad. But let's jump straight into the Icon Swaps objectives in terms of the rest of them. First one being win 10 champs matches. Again, you don't need to do it in one weekend. If you're absolutely shocking at the game, you're new and you don't play a lot, you should still have 3 weekend leagues to do this, okay? Which again, 3 or 4 wins per weekend league, honestly, is not too impossible. You can go and win 10 champs matches, I promise. It's not like as hard as you think. If it's going to be completely impossible for you, if you are like shocking at the game and you really don't think you can do that, you're very new, you don't need all the tokens. As we'll talk about later on when we talk rewards, some of my favorite reward paths don't even need all 20 tokens. So I'll talk about that later, right? If you don't want to grind for all 20. But the one that people are getting caught up on is obviously the squad battles. And it goes without saying, right? Combine the squads for this. But a lot of people are giving you that advice of combine the squads. So, you know, do a silver Brazilian team or a silver French league team. But they're not really showing you how to do that. Not everyone's club's the same. So the easiest way to do this, I've found, by an absolute country mile, is have a first owner, and I'll explain how we do that, right? But get a first owner, silver Brazilian team, okay? Again, if you've not got one already, I'll explain how we can do that. And then the second one you're going to do is, you're going to do the French Liga Archema players, because the reason you don't want to do silver players here is they've shot up in price. So if you want to do silver Liga Archema French players, you'll have seen already, they're like 5,000 coins, some of them, if you want like a good one. And when you're playing world-class squad battles, trust me, you don't need the best players, but you do want good players. If you guys have played this already, you've tried to win a few squad battles games against world class, it's not the easiest, right? So the way I'd recommend doing it, like I say, French Liga Archema players, and then Brazilian first-owned silver players. And again, I want to stress, this is starting 11 only. You're going to end up subbing players on. So just before we talk about how to sub players on and actually how to beat that squad battles games, if you are struggling with it, right? Go to SBCs if you don't have a Brazilian first-owner team. And if you go to upgrades, right, we still have the daily upgrades. I think I've done mine from yesterday. But the daily silver upgrade, right, do that every single day for Brazilian players. You can also, by the way, just do the daily silver upgrade, like the regular one. Sorry, they're not daily, but the silver upgrade. But also what you can do is the 4 of 10 80+ player pick gives 2 silver packs. So every single day, you got 2 chances for a first owner silver there. You got chances unlimited for first owner silvers there. You got like these give loads of silver players to get first owner silver Brazilian players there. Of course, you've got the mixed league and the premium mixed league upgrades. Again, a lot of the mixed league upgrades, which are super cheap. This costs like 10k to do. You get loads of silver players in these packs here, apart from the like the group reward. I think the group reward gives a gold pack, but the rest of them give silver packs. So again, that's like 10k a run. You don't even need to spend 10k. You'll have most of the players in your club to get first owner Brazilians. That makes it so much easier. And after you do a few sets of them, after you do that, you can even check the preview silver pack in store. I can almost guarantee you'll have a full Brazilian silver team. As long as you've been doing the grind during team of the year, you're almost guaranteed to have one. And if you do have that, boys, then in theory, this should only take 12 games to get all 5 tokens, because obviously the champs is separate, right? So we're looking to do this in 12 squad battles games to get 5 tokens. We do champs there to get 6 tokens, and we get the other 4 tokens from above to get all 10 tokens. And honestly, not as hard as people are making it out. The chip shots are annoying. Squad battles are squad battles. What you want to do with squad battles as well, which I think it goes without saying, when you go to play versus AI, don't make this more hard than you need to. Don't try and get squad battles points and maximize all that bullshit, right? Just pick this team at 68 rated, 11 chemistry, beat that squad, right? You can pick the team of the week squad. It's not too hard. You can beat that as well because they're on 4 chemistry. Don't play these squads. Just keep refreshing. Don't worry about maximizing squad battles points. Don't try and do 2 in 1. Icon swaps is hard enough as it is. Just keep refreshing the like the set of squads and just play the worst one every single time. Forget points. It doesn't matter, right? Exactly what I was saying before. When you do sub on players, these are the players that sub on, right? If you're doing the silver squad and you don't have a goalkeeper, please sub on a goalkeeper. I've seen people struggle with this so much because they've got a silver goalkeeper in there. Some people do it even worse. They have like a centre back in there or a left back. Please sub on a goalkeeper as one of your subs. I would sub on a centre back, your best centre back, as one of your subs. So I'm telling you, when you start playing it, world class squad battles is no joke. So I'd sub on a goalkeeper, a centre-back. I would then sub on a cam and a striker, and then one winger, right? Depends on what formation you play. But having a cam, a striker, one winger, you can just attack down that side. Have a centre-back and a goalkeeper. That's who I'd sub on. Use all 5 of your subs from minute 1. Promise you, don't unless you're like really good at the game. You've done all this before. Don't mess around with world-class squad battles, especially using a silver team, right? I'm not going to do a full in-depth guide of playing against the squad battles AI, but these are the little tips I would give you from what I found so far. Number 1 is be patient. People often lose against squad battles because they think it's AI. It should be easy. They rush it and then lose. You're going to have to be patient. Whether you want to or not, you're going to have to be patient. Number 2 is score a few, score 1, score 2, and then pass around the back. Honestly, I get it's like that, but if you're someone who struggles, if you pass around the back, it's much easier to beat these teams by passing around the back than it is to beat them by actually trying to play, you know, like you're winning rivals or champs. Honestly, just be a rat. It's the easiest way to do it. And apart from that, same as rivals, same as champs, abuse finesse shots, abuse all the things that are meta in terms of, you know, scoring goals, in terms of defending. Don't defend, don't play any differently than when you play online, right? You play a bit more of a rat, you pass around the back, you play patiently. But apart from that, it's finesse shots, low drivens, all the stuff you normally do online, right? And honestly, as long as you take that into account, it shouldn't be too difficult. But if you are going to go through the slog of doing squad battles, doing live events, at least make the rewards worth it. This is the main thing that annoys me. People end up doing that whole... I don't say annoys me. At the end of the day, it's your rewards, right? But if you're going to go through that whole slog of squad battles, playing live events, if you're going to go through all of that and then you end up picking some of the things I'm about to show you, some of the rewards they've chucked into icon swaps, it's a waste of time. Don't do it, right? So we're going to go through each reward very quickly, individually, and what I think about it. And at the end, the most important bit probably, the combinations, right? Because you're going to get 20 tokens at least. I don't think it's fully leaked yet. It could be 20 to 25 tokens. The leakers don't seem to know. So maybe EA will see how many people complete all the first 10, and then they'll either release another 10, another 12, another 15 to make it even easier. Hopefully it's another 15 to make it even easier. Starting with reward number 1, I want to talk all fodder packs, right? Now, fodder packs, we're all gambling addicts, right? If you, like me, you're a gambling addict. What I will say with fodder packs, it's not the worst idea in the world, but 2 things with fodder packs. Don't make it your main reward, right? Don't go and say you're going to take the 25 times 86, and you're also going to take the 15 times 85, the 20 times 80. Like, don't take all the fodder packs, right? It might seem like a great idea. You get some of the SBCs done. When we've had icon swaps in previous years, the people that regret their choices the most are the people that just pick the fodder packs, don't get anything back. They'll do an SBC and they'll probably give up the game, right? I always see that. What I'd do with fodder packs is supplement it with one of the other awards I'm going to show you later on. Fodder packs are a great one, especially this one that's 1 tokens, or even this one here that's 3 tokens to 15 times 85. These are great if you take one of the good rewards and then you've got a couple of tokens left. 1 or 2 tokens, you've got 3 tokens. You pick one of these as like a last little bit, you know, to maybe pack like a future stars or, you know, whatever the promo is like in a couple of weeks' time when you do get this. What I would not do is go and rush to get 1 or 2 tokens, open this, be disappointed, and then just stop playing icon swaps. Probably the worst thing you can do, right? Moving on to this, we've got the cam position rolls and for any icon. This is the single worst reward in the entire thing. I almost don't really understand it. I need you guys to, like, let me know if you're going to do this. Why? Like, you could give Morgan, Cam, and rolls, but icon swaps tokens, like, for the equivalent of getting a 20 times 84 and a 25 times 82, I don't feel like anyone's picking that. Let me know if you are, but that's a must avoid in my opinion. More fodder packs, and the first player we get is Xabi Alonso. Now, I'm going to talk a lot about the players and what I think of them. I'm going to be honest, boys. Xabi Alonso, as I love a lot of the players we're going to speak about, are just a must avoid. Like, I don't even think it's worth debating. They're a must avoid. Xabi Alonso specifically, he's not one of the worst players out of what I'm going to show you. Some of the other ones, for how much effort they cost, are worse. But Xabi Alonso has no intercept, no jockey, no anticipate, no relentless, no bruiser. People will just go straight to the fact he's got passing play styles, but he's a 1 play style plus card. I guess he's only 3 tokens. The only situation where I take this card is if you're a Liverpool fan. At the end of the day, icon swaps can be a bit of fun. You get to use some new cards for the team. If you're a Liverpool fan like me, and you want a Xabi Alonso in your team, it's different. But 1 playstyle plus and no intercept, no anticipate, and like it just feels like a bit of a waste, right? His stats are fine, but not amazing. He's 4-star, 4-star. A lot of you guys love Evos better than that card. And honestly, like I said, 3 tokens and icon swap tokens in general are not worth wasting, right? The first really good reward we get is the 4 token iconic defender glow up. We'll talk about combining things later on, but the fact this is so cheap, it's not the best Evo in the game, but it's so cheap that it means you can combine it with some of the other rewards later on, and it's really nice. Just as like an example, right? And these are not the best ways to do this, but just again, as an example, look at taking gold Teo Hernandez into this beast of a left back who has intercept plus. If you've got the season pass this year, you can then put him into this quick step one. And if you look at this card, right? Intercept, quick step on a fullback, with you guys know how Teo Hernandez plays in game. You can imagine how good this card will be, like until team of the season level. And again, this is only 4 tokens. There's a better Evo later on, but this is only 4 tokens. The next one you can do, you just put gold Mickey van der Ven and you get this card here. And again, this is not talking chains, right? These Evos in the icon swaps are kind of like final evolutions. These are the ones you'll put into them after the rest of your chain, right? So Mickey van der Ven, more likely is either you've already got a chain or you'll put them into some of the other Evos that are out right now in the game and then put them into this one finally. But even as a base card, just as like a simple simple base card, you can understand already, right, how overpowered this card's going to be with Intercept. And again, with him, you can put him into the Season Pass Evo if you are going to do the premium Season Pass, and you'll see this, right? And Mickey Van der Ven with Quick Step Plus, Intercept Plus, 91 pace and these stats. It's a little bit silly, right? So that's the first good reward, in my opinion. Then we move on to another player that I think is half worth it, okay? Better than Xabi Alonso, but not as good as some of the ones later on, even for the token value. Buffon, right, is 1 playstyle plus, which is not as good as Yashin and Donnarumma, some of the other big goalkeepers. What I will say with Buffon is, yes, he's missing footwork and rush out, and that makes me not want to do him. If I'm spending like 4 or 5 tokens on an Icon Swaps keeper, like the most boring position in the game, I want them to at least be like team of the season level. And I think with 95 diving, 90 positioning, 94 reflexes, with far reach plus, with the meta of the game being finesse shots, he's probably the single best goalkeeper in the game. I've not seen Donnarumma do too well against finesse shots, even though he's massive. You'd think this Buffon will be the best goalkeeper in the game for saving those finesse shots, but I think the no far reach and the no footwork will annoy me. I'm not going to say Buffon's an avoid. I just think, again, Buffon's only really there if you desperately need like an icon keeper for chemistry maybe, and your team's falling apart chemistry-wise. I can see that. You then get Tiki Taka Plus for any icon. We're going to talk about this one later on because it's very specific to your club. This one's the weirdest one because I think it really matters who you've got in your club, right? If you're someone running a Silver Hullet Evo, you have 1 playstyle plus and he does not have Tiki, right? Which is very specific. I know a lot of you guys have that Hullet Evo. If that's the case, and if that's you with the Hullet, this one's probably 100% worth it because it makes this card go from like decent to endgame, basically, right? If that card didn't have Tiki Taka Plus and you give him it, he goes from decent to endgame. Some of the other cards you can put this on is like, for example, there's a Time Warp Roy Keane. I seen someone's squad yesterday and they said they're going to take this because it makes that Roy Keane from good to great. So just little things like that. That one's really weird. I don't want to say too much on it because it's very specific. I'm going to be honest, I think there's better rewards, but again, if you've got the Hullet, I do understand it, right? You then got a 25 times 86. Now with fodder packs, I didn't really mention this too much before. With fodder packs this year, it is so much better taking the higher rated for the higher tokens. Basically, when they added women to the game, one thing people didn't realize it did was it doubled the player pool, which basically means now that fodder, like, if you think about it, if it doubles all the 81s, 82s, 80s, and so on, what it does is it just gives more percentage of lower rated fodder. So even though the higher end fodder increases, the lower end 82s, 83s increases so much more. So that what you want to do is, when you are taking fodder packs, taking this 86 times 25 is so much better than taking all the other fodder packs combined. In terms of trying to get a big pull, right? If you, for some reason, need loads of players in your club, I get it. But when you're doing fodder packs, boys, just take the highest one you can afford. So if you are going to take fodder packs, I'd rather take their 25 times 86, number one, then second, 15 times 85. You like, rather than doing this and this, you'd just rather take one of the higher up ones. We then move on to Zambrotta. This is the biggest must avoid of the entire video. Please, please, please don't fall into this trap. Because he has Intercept Plus, because he has 90 pace, 90 defending. Again, right, what you need to understand, 7 tokens of Icon Swaps is so valuable, and you're picking a right back that has no good passing play styles, and no anticipate, and no quick step, and no rapid, and no bruiser. Like, that, this is, I think some people might get tricked by this. Maybe if you've not been on the game as much, or you don't follow things online as much. I don't know who's picking the Zambrotta card, but honestly, this is probably the worst choice of the entire video for like swaps per token value, whatever you want to say. We then get the campaign icon pick. I want to talk about all the campaign icon picks as one. Essentially, I don't think they're worth it, but a lot of you guys are gamblers. If you're going to gamble with the icon pick, there's only 2 that are even worth looking at, and that is the 2 top end ones. Again, I keep saying the highest stuff is worth looking at, but it's kind of similar to fodder packs, right? Where the bottom one is so bad and so you're going to get such crap in it that it's a waste of 8 tokens. I would rather you than just almost guaranteed wasting 8 tokens. Go and spend 17 tokens on the 1 of 3 93 plus icon pick. And if you're a gambler, what you will see is there's barely any bad ones in this 1 of 3 93 plus. If you go and look at all the 93 plus icons, there's a couple L's, but 95% of the cards in there are at least dubs, right? Even if you get like a bad dub, but the fact you get 1 of 3 means you're almost guaranteed at least a really good card, right? And the fact you can get Team of the Years in these, by the way, like the fact they've added these Team of the Year icons to that, I wasn't sure they were going to do that. The fact you can get 1 of 3 93 plus Team of the Year icons like Hullet, Zlatan, all the Team of the Year icons basically. I don't even hate that as a pick. Now, I don't like doing these because I just think that imagine doing 17 tokens and all 3 cards guaranteed an L, with at least with the fodder packs, the worst you can get is fodder. Whereas this, you can get a card that's just crap. Like that scares me, I'll be honest. I'm not doing 17 tokens worth of my time to you know, miss that. But if you are a gambler, that end icon pick actually isn't too bad. Stoichkov is going to be very similar to Zambrotta. Again, you're spending, 9 tokens of your life to get a card with no passing play styles and no quick step, and like, yes, he has finesse low driven, he has rapid plus, I do get it. But you're going to be using this card, ideally, for months, right? If you do a card from Icon Swaps, you want someone that stays in your team. This is a card with no incisive, no ticky, that's going to start to feel sluggish in game. Honestly, 4-star, boys, that one is not for me at all. I think that one's like Zambrotta, I must avoid. Icon pick we spoke about, I prefer the higher rated ones, but again, you're a gambling addict, I'm sure you'll just rush to get one of them done, and you can get this one done with the 10 tokens you can get on the game now. Then we're on to our second evolution, and it's not a surprise, this might be the best choice of the entire thing, right? Now, I'm going to show you 2 of the most meta cards, but you can kind of turn not any card, but like this is such a good evolution for most cards on the game. What I'd recommend is use a card that's 5-star weak foot and use a card that either has a finesse plus on the base card or it has incisive on the base card or probably rapid on their base card, right? We're also going to see a messy one in a second. It's got Tiki and that's kind of fine as well. This is Claudia Pina Player of the Month. A lot of you guys won't have this card, but look at this, right? 5-star, 5-star, the stats. We've seen a lot of Pina Evos this year. This one's kind of like the icing on the cake, and plus it's only one Evo, right? The Messi that I'm interested in doing is not this one. This is the Inform Messi that goes to this 5-star, 4-star card, has Tiki and low driven. I think it's a better Messi card, right? If you do Messi into Evolution Builder, this is insane for just 10 tokens compared to like when you do a 1 of 390 campaign pick and get some like half decent icon. If you throw Messi into the Tiki Tactician and then you throw into this, you get a 5-star, 5-star Messi who has Tiki and low driven. But if you also look at this card's like base play styles, he has finesse, incisive, quick step, and rapid, and Messi with quick step and rapid, pinged, technical. Of course, that Tiki and low driven plus. Of course, he's 5-star, 5-star with those stats. I find it really hard not to, like, how can you not pick this as a reward, right? We're going to come into the combinations at the end. Maybe you guys are not Evo addicts like I am, but I find it really hard to not pick this as a reward with how good this card will be compared to any of the icons you're going to get from the icon campaign picks, right? Cantona joins Zambrotta and Stoichkov. He's a little bit better, but again, no Tiki on this card. He's an attacker with no rapid, no quick step. I feel like I'm being harsh, but boys, having a press proven as a second play style plus with no rapid, no quick step, no Tiki, it's not that this card's not usable. Just the fact that you're paying, what is it, 11 tokens for that when you can get that Messi for 10 tokens. Do you see what I mean? Where it's like, it just doesn't seem worth it to me, right? Maybe, again, United fan, I get it, or you just love Cantona for some weird reason. It's fine, I guess, but I wouldn't do him, wouldn't do Zambrotta, wouldn't do Stoichkov. We then go to the icon pick. I think this is one of the only two good icon picks. Again, I've said to you, the 91 plus and the 93 plus are much better. My opinion is, though, if you're going to do the 91 plus, you almost may as well go and do the extra to get the 93 plus. But I guess you could combine this one here with more things. So that is completely up to you. And then we move on to the final page. And guess what? It's a massive shock, right? These three are all really good. Who would have thought the three best rewards are all really good? But honestly, boys, I think this icon swaps, more than any other that I've seen in the past, leads so much towards taking the higher, like, big tokens. Anything from 10 plus, like the iconic attacker glow up. But this last page, I said before, there's so many dubs in this, and there's barely any ones that you can lose, especially the fact you get 3 cards to choose from, right? With the icon pick. But Ferdinand and Ronaldo, before we even get onto Ronaldo, again, what did I say with Stoichkov, Cantona, and all that, right? You want a card that's going to be in your teams at the end of the year. And again, with Ferdinand, I guess you could say he is missing block. So I guess you could try and add him to the conversation of, like, missing a few playstyles. I think this Ferdinand card will last until team of the season, right? This Ferdinand base card has been class all game. If you guys are playing against base Ferdinand, he just fits the meta. He has Bruiser, then Quick Step Plus, Anticipate Plus. Again, missing block past the rest of the defensive play styles. He has that lengthy build where he just feels so fast. Like this card, it feels like you can't get past him on a through ball if you whack a shadow on this card. Again, it's a lot of tokens for a defender, but if you want a card that's going to be in your team until right at the end of the game, what's nice with Ferdinand is you can combine him with much more than if you choose Ronaldo, right? But we've got to talk about Ronaldo. Now, Ronaldo, a lot of people are saying it's too expensive, right? A lot of people are saying it's trash. He's trash because he's too expensive. I think this is R9, right? R9 is R9. At the end of the day, I want to say, how many of you guys have used an R9 card before team of the season, right? How many of you guys have had an R9 card that's this good before team of the season, right? Barely anyone. Like, percentage-wise, it's going to be barely anyone. He is missing incisive, but the fact they gave him Tiki saves him so much. If he didn't have Tiki, genuinely, this is how this game goes, right? It's such a playstyle-heavy game that I think we could probably, talk about not taking him. He is missing rapid, and I'm going to be honest, boys, in terms of if you forget it's R9, you put a different card in that place, I think it's not worth it, right? I don't think it's worth it. Missing rapid, missing incisive, and the only reason it's like that matters is because it's so expensive, right? 19 tokens, it's going to take you so much time. But finesse, tech, quick step, as well as low driven, as well as trickster, by the way. Trickster, Tiki, and having that 5-star, 5-star that R9 does. And they've not really give you a bad R9 card, by the way. They've give like a good R9 card as well. I'm not going to say it's necessary. I'm not going to say you have to take it. But if you're someone that wants to grind, if you're someone that doesn't already love the striker you're using, I don't hate this at all as a pick. The one thing with this is you can't really combine it. I would just get 19 tokens and then just, again, you can get one more and do the fodder pack at the start. But again, we could only get 20 tokens. EA might do 22, 23, like we said before. We might only get 20. If you're willing to grind and you're better at the game and you find it a little bit easier and you find the champs easier and the squad battles and the live events easier and you just enjoy grinding the game in general, I don't think you can argue with it with the R9, right? Okay, the big one, though, boys, of course, it's going to be what are the best combinations for the icon swaps, okay? What can we do to make sure you get the most out of your tokens in general? And again, you don't have to get all 20 tokens, number one. I guess number two as well, just pick things that are fun. Like, at the end of the day, if you do want Xabi Alonso and I've told you he's crap, or you do want Zambrotta and I've told you he's crap, like, it doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, it's icon swaps. Do what you want to do. Have fun with it. But these are the best combinations, in my opinion, if you want to make sure you got the best team at the end and you do the best for it, right? Number one, I'm going to get right out the way, is R9 plus 1 token fodder pack. Now, if we end up getting more than 20 tokens, you can just do R9 plus 2 token fodder pack, R9 plus 3, token fodder pack. At the end of the day, you just do R9 plus fodder. If we end up getting like 24, 25 tokens, which we could get, I think R9 plus the Iconic Defender glow up is going to be class. R9 plus Buffon, if we do get 24 plus, could be class. Even Tiki Taka. I think R9 and Buffon or R9 Iconic Defender glow up could be class. I think we'll get around 20. So R9 and the fodder pack is number 1. Now the second combination does involve Buffon, and I'm tempted by this one a little bit myself. But I think I'm going to go for one of the ones a little bit later on, I'll be honest. But if you want 2 players, right, you get Buffon for 5 tokens and you get Rio Ferdinand for 14 tokens. For the price of R9, you get a defender that'll be in your game until TOTS, and you get your goalkeeper who will be in your team until TOTS. Now again, I think R9's a bit more fun than that, but like again, you could be a meta rat, or maybe you've already got an Evo for your striker. That's kind of class. Right, now we're on to probably the more popular ones that I think are really, people are going to do, because everyone that I know or I speak to from you guys on the Twitch streams or even just in the comments, right, we're all either gambling addicts or we're Evo addicts, right? We're one of the two. So we're going to get onto that now. Number 1, I think this is what I'm going to go with. I can't see a better combination this, right? It's going to be the Iconic Attacker Glow Up. I think that's the best single token or usually your tokens in the entire list, right? So Iconic Attacker Glowers, and that leaves us with 9 or 10 tokens. And as I've said, I don't think it's worth it for the 1 and 390 pick, and I don't think Stoichkov's worth it. So I also don't think that's worth it, by the way, the 1 and 389 campaign pick, and I don't think Zambrotta is worth it, which means you have 2 options, right? You do the 10 token attacker Evo, and you go fodder packs. So again, you could do the 10 tokens and the 6 tokens, and then the 4 token. Was it 4? Where's the next fodder pack? Is it 3? The 3 tokens are the 15 times 85. So that's the same as R9. Or the one that I'm actually going to go with is, again, go back, the 10 token Icon Attacker Glow Up. That's 10 tokens. We go down all the way over here. The 4 tokens Iconic Defender Glow Up. I'm probably going to put that on my Van der Ven. So I'll put my Van der Ven into a chain, like make him a class at first, then put him into this to make him like an absolute beast right at the end. Hopefully get him into Intercept and Quick Step Plus. Might even put him in the Season Pass Evo. That's 14 tokens. So again, I've probably still got 5 or 6 tokens left, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm probably going to go either Buffon, like I said, I might get a goalkeeper, but I think then just fodder packs as well. I honestly think doing that, then and 15 times 85, or, to be honest, boys, I just do the 2 evolutions, and then you don't even have to do the rest of the tokens. You don't have to do all the squad battles games. I don't even have to use silvers in squad battles if I don't want, right? The last combination I will say, though, boys, this is for the ultimate gamblers. If you are a gambler, I will say, if you do want the biggest dopamine rush, the 1 of 393 campaign pick for 17 tokens. Again, let's say you've got 2 or 3 tokens left. What are you going to end it with? You're going to end it with this fodder pack or this fodder pack, right? So that's just if you're an ultimate gambler, yeah, do the final campaign pick. Wait until the final one. I promise it'll be worth it. I want to see some people open them. There won't be a lot of people in the entire community, in the entire game that get that 93 campaign pick. You're going to have one of the rarest, packs in the game. So I kind of want to see if we can get someone to open them on stream. But choosing that and the fodder pack, if you are a gambling addict, I don't mind it. Boys, are you excited or is it too many objectives? Let me know. How are you finding the squad battles world class? How are you finding the objectives in general? And what, the most important one, of course, comment down below. What are you planning on taking? I really want to see where the community goes with this one. So if you see someone else put a comment on what they're taking and you agree, leave a like on it. I want to see which sort of comments get the most likes. I kind of want to see where the community's going with this. I don't know if I'm a bit weird going for the Evos, but I imagine the Evos will be the most popular out of the ones we've seen so far. Or maybe it'll be the R9. So we'll see what you guys say down below. Of course, leave a like on the video if this does help. I would appreciate it greatly, boys. We've had a great team of the year, but honestly, I don't know about you boys. I think there's more hype going into Future Stars and Icon Swaps. It seems to me there's at least more to do on the game, and there's more obtainable stuff to do on the game, rather than SBCs that cost 2 million coins and, cards that you can't pack, right? Make sure to subscribe if you are new and you do want to see us talk about the Future Stars evolution. I don't want to do a video about it until we get Sunday. So Sunday, we get the next stage of the evolution, right? The Future Stars Academy. I wouldn't put your player into it just yet. I would just wait until we get the confirmed upgrades from the Future Stars Academy on Sunday, and then I'll do a video about it on that. So if you do want to see that, make sure to subscribe. But like always, boys, until next time, see you all in a bizzle.